How does a hard bottom look like? Always use the day color option, which is the middle one in this menu. There's a clear difference between a soft and a hard bottom. Here you can see a soft bottom. This is indicated by the red and blue, which means a weaker return, so a softer bottom. So it could be mud, silt or vegetation. Now we go over a gravel bar. The hard bottom reflects as a strong sonar signal. So the bottom appears as a thick, solid, brightly colored line. The rule of thumb with the day color mode is yellow or orange is a strong return, which means a hard bottom, and blue or red is a weaker return, so a softer bottom. A hard bottom can also be a clay bottom, shown here with the hole. We refer in some videos to carp holes. A carp hole is a hole specifically made by carp by rubbing against it. We see that carp do this many times. If there is a branch or a hard clay spot, they will rub against it. This can be an interesting place to place your rod, just like we did at Granville. We found a spot with the sonar and placed our rig inside the rubbing clay spot. The vertical wall on the left is made by clay and curved by carp. Try to find a carp hole and catch more fish. How does weed look like on the sonar? Weed can grow in different forms. Long strings, compact, a lot of combinations are possible, and it's essential to learn how to distinguish the weeds from other input on your sonar. The high compact weeds are easy to spot on your sonar, but the smaller weeds are harder to see. When you find some compact weed, you can fish on top of it with a wafter or a runny rig. If you want to scan a spot accurately, we highly recommend you to use the 7 or the 20 degrees beam. We prefer to fish on top of the weeds or next to it. For example, here you see we place the wafter on top of the weeds, and not many anglers do this, which makes it a really good tactic. Or you can fish next to the weeds, such as we did here. A small weed bed with stringy weeds and a hard bottom next to it. Here it's only 2 meters deep and recorded around spring. On deeper weedy lakes, it can be interesting to search for harder parts in the lake. This is what we did at Granville. The bottom was a combination of silt and weed, around 5 meters. But then you see the change on the scan. This indicates a harder bottom where we placed our rig. Look at the result we had on the gravel bar. Another advantage of this hard spot is that you know that your presentation is most of the time well presented. When do you see fish on your deeper sonar? The deeper is not only useful to gain knowledge about the bottom structure or what happens underwater. The deeper can also be the edge in locating fish. Arches are clear indicators for fish. Here you can see a few carp on the slope. We placed a rig on that spot and within 1 hour we caught this carp. Fish moving through the sonar cone produce arched marks. The arch shape forms because the fish enters, passes under and exits the sonar beam. A full arch means that the fish was fully within the cone. A half arch means that the fish was only partly within the cone. If you want to spot some fish, it is essential to start with the 47 degrees beam and then narrow down to 20 or 7 degrees beam to study their location precisely. Which settings do I use? I mentioned my settings pretty often through this video, but let's go through all the settings as a summary. Let's start at the beginning. Sometimes we're fishing from a boat, then we use the boat version. Or while casting, we use the rod version. We have our sensitivity on 100% most of the time, but if there's too much noise in the water, we reduce the sensitivity till the noise is gone. All the beams are useful and need to be used. The 47 degrees beam to search for carp and to gain an understanding about the bottom structures. The 20 and the 7 degrees beam are useful to determine the hardiness of the bottom and to localize the carp more accurately in a smaller area. There are 3 options for the color palette. First one is basic, the day and the night option. We recommend to pick the option you like. Stick with it consistently because your reading muscle builds up. Switching between the options frequently can slow the interpretation, and we prefer to only use the day color option. The sonar display is the best on the raw settings because it's more accurate and the deeper shows everything as it is. We highly recommend you to not show the fish icons. They are not accurate because they are based on an algorithm. It's better to learn to interpret your own raw sonar input. Check for the archers as shown in this video.
Thank you for watching this video. I've shown you my deeper settings. Besides that, we also watched how a hard bottom and a soft bottom look like and how it looks like on the deeper sonar. Of course, one really important thing, and that is how to localize carp on your deeper sonar. By the way, if you're in the market for a new deeper, there is a special offer. You can get a free solar panel this time, and that with limited availability, so be fast. Check the link in the description, and thank you for watching this new video.